After the worst result in Scottish football history in Europe, it's time to react to the pundits and what they had to say regarding it. Welcome back to Fog Football. Kris Sutton, John Hartson of the Celtic persuasion, and then Kris Boyd of the Rangers persuasion. So yeah, we'll head over to Kris Boyd's Instagram in a bit, but because he was loving life, he was trolling. You know what? We've said for pretty much years. Well, I mean, it has been years. This guy's lacked ammunition. He can troll, but he needs a wee bit of ammo. And by God, last night did he get it? But we'll go through Kris Sutton's journey, shall we, over on Twitter. So 17 hours ago, team news was announced. Come on, you boys. NG. All right. And there's your 11. Schmeichel, Ralston, Carter Vickers. I don't need to go for that. The jobber 11. The Diddy 11. The 11 that couldn't get the job done against a bunch of jabronis. All right. Front three's absolutely bogging. In Forrest, Yang, and Maida. I don't think anyone's going to sit here and dispute that. But you know what? Liam Scales is getting pelt. Liam Scales has been better than Carter Vickers this season, and people have just got an agenda against Scales. They see the name, they see the fact the guy came from Shamrock Rovers, and it's like it's almost automatically like he can't be good enough. I'm telling you, Liam Scales, like it or not, is one of Celtic's most consistent performers. And I don't see how anybody can even disagree with that. But we'll move on. Next tweet. This is what Kris Sutton said. Celtic look leggy. In truth, neither team has looked like scoring, but Celtic very disappointing in the final third. No real quality, or link-up, or combination play. This could get nervy. Little do you know, Kris, this could get even beyond nervy. But in terms of leggy, here, perfect. It went to extra time. They went out leggy ahead of an Old Firm on Sunday, which I think's got the potential to be one of the worst games of football I've ever seen. Well, actually, I say that. That's a wee bit over exaggeration, because this game right here was one of the worst games of football you ever see. Across two legs, man. Brutal. Brutal game of football. Next tweet. Oh, I've got an ad. Kris Sutton said, flying back to Stansted now. When I land, will Celtic have gone through? Well, Kris, got a wee spoiler for you. They didn't, and that's what Kris Sutton had to say. The gamble didn't pay off. Turning phone off. And all I've got to say about that is, good point for Celtic in the end. He's loved saying that about Rangers. Every game so far this season, Rangers have drew in the league. Well, I'll fire back with that one. But yeah, I tell you what, Kris Sutton, spitting the dummy. He can't handle it. He's turned his phone off. Guess what? I've never turned my phone off. See, regardless of the banter, the trolling, the abuse, I'm there taking them all. Kris Sutton, though, he can't hack it, and he's getting pelters. And you know what, though? I'll defend Kris Sutton. He said this would happen. He turned around and said that if you fail to prepare to fail. The board haven't done the correct stuff, and as much as I agree with that, like Rodgers. Why is Rodgers getting a free pass, right? Now, obviously Brendan Rodgers, right, is one of the best managers that Celtic have had. Right? He is better than Neil Lennon. Don't think anyone's going to argue with that. But if Neil Francis Lennon, right, that guy, if he led Celtic to that defeat last night over those two legs, he would be getting hounded out. And I'm not saying there hasn't been Rodgers out brigade, right? Yeah, we did the fans react last night. We can read our own comments. There's a lot of people saying that Rodgers should go, right? But if that was Neil Francis Lennon that managed those two legs and Celtic went out the Champions League, it would be pretty much every other Celtic fan demanding for it. And Rodgers just seems to get this free pass because on occasion he's kind of called out the board this season so far about transfers. You don't need transfers to beat Karat. You know, you're bringing 20 odd million worth of talent off the bench. I use the word talent loosely, but the reality is that's what Celtic spent on the likes of Adam Adea and Arnie Engels. I mean, here, I think Arnie Engels is probably looking at that Celtic midfield thinking, how am I not starting? Because Cal McGregor was pretty pish. Hatate, you know what? Hatate, on his day, is obviously one of the best players in this league, but I think he's quickly became a moments player. I think he just gets... he's invisible for most games, but then he'll step up, man. With like a long range goal, like he against Aberdeen he did it, and he's got that in his locker. But I think he's just passive in most games when you watch him, man. But that is the quality he possesses, that he can just put a ball in for like 25, 30 yards. But yeah, I think Arnie Engels will be wanting to start. Because the fact of the matter is this, if Arnie Engels can't get into the Celtic, he's going to want to leave. I mean, the further his career. But yeah, that's all Kris Sutton had to say. We'll hear what John Hartson had to say. He said, Celtic were rotten last night. No excuses. The first leg at home was a hard watch. Karat looked comfortable. 100% complacency. Too many looking around for something to happen. Poor performance is an understatement. Yeah, tell you that for free. It is an understatement. They were rotten. There is no excuses. I mean, even if it was a one-off game, right, there would be no excuses. But at least you could turn around and say, well, you know what? One-off game, away in Kazakhstan, tough place to go, yada, yada, yada. The tie should have been out of sight against Karat in the first leg. And I think every single person can agree to that. Anyway, we'll head over to Instagram and we'll react to Kris Boyd. So, Kris Boyd. There you go. Bit of music in there. Sack the board. Borat holding it up. What have we got here? Jaws. The Sharks are back. Kris Boyd's loving life. So, yeah. Tell you that for free. Back to Sutton. There we go, folks. Kris Boyd. Loving life. Jaws references. Still game getting fired in there. Borat references. It's a good night for Kris Boyd. But on that note, that's where we'll leave it there. Till next time, pundits have react. Tonight is the turn of Rangers against Club Brugge. I'm not expecting much, man. I think I predicted a draw. Yeah, I'll stick with a draw. It literally would be a miracle if Rangers went through the night. But yeah, you never know, because what happened over the course of two legs for Celtic was a miracle, because no one really expected Karat to put them out. And they did, so you never know. Till next time, peace.